Good evening, everyone. It's a pleasure to have my another fellow MVP, who is also in the domain area of AI, and he's going to talk about bot framework composer. So over to you, Arafat. Start with your introduction, and over to you on the presentation.
Yeah, so thank you so much, Saitu. It's been the first time that I'm presenting to the Singaporean or that region and APAC region. So I'm really excited. And C2 and I met, I think, on during our Ignite discussion. So it was a good, healthy discussion between other sub with some other MVPs and RDs as well and the audience. So then yes, we caught up, and then we had a discussion about how should we go further. So he invited me over here, and I wanted to discuss one of my favorite topics, which is about bots and conversational AI. So we'll be looking into that. There has been a lot of new changes, a lot of new releases which have just come. Even some of them has gone live today. So we'll also touch base with that as well. So a little bit of introduction about myself. I am Arafat Tehseen. I am a Microsoft MVP for AI. I work for Vilrada. I am also an organizer for Azure Sydney user group. So if you are like you are in the similar time zone, it's just 3 hours difference from Sydney. And if you want to learn more about Azure or something which is more advanced than the basic Azure stuff, then you are more welcome to join us. And with regards to beginner stuff, we also do a couple of tracks for that. So yeah, if you are interested in that, do join us. It's going to be fun. In addition to this, I'm also one of the co-founders for Bot Builder Community Project. So it's this was created as a part of like we were few MVPs who decided to build up something which was for bots, and it's just like another community for, as you see, for AI, for ML, for Windows, for .NET. So we wanted to create some a community that would help developers. So we have got a lot of bunch of stuff which I will discuss in upcoming slides. If you want to connect with me, these are my contact details, my blog, which I have been quite actively upon. So if you want to connect with me, please connect with me. Have a read on my blog. I write mostly all about bots, more about bots and less about other stuff. But yeah, and AI and ML stuff as well. So let's get started. What do we have in our agenda? So we will be discussing why we are discussing about this bots stuff. Why do they matter right now, and do we really should we really talk about them? Is it a buzzword, or do we really is are there any companies, any implementations out there in production with heavy user base, or it's just a buzzword? It is going on, just a rumor that, oh yeah, bots are coming up. So we'll discuss that. Then we have got design principles. So this is one of the topics which I included purposefully. And the reason for this is that I've seen a lot of implementations in production. And I can safely say that it's not the technology, it's us who are designing very bad solutions. So because of the need I've seen in industry, I've included this topic. Then we'll touch base Microsoft conversational AI stack, that what Microsoft has to offer when it comes to conversational AI. Like, how can you build the bots? Do you have to be a developer or a low code expert or a no code subject matter expert? What you need to be when you have to develop a bot. So I will discuss that part as well. Then we will see what has been released since past 1 or 2 years till today, when it comes to language capabilities, natural language capabilities, and how can you improve your experiences using those capabilities. In the end, we'll discuss and we'll see a good, huge, like long demo on Bot Framework Composer. And I'll go quite slow with that. As C2 mentioned that the audience want to have their hands on. So unfortunately, I could not prepare something as a workshop kind of material, but I'll be going a little slower than my usual sessions. So if you have got any questions in between or just now, please feel free to stop me, ask me, no issues with that. So moving on, we will also touch base the channels which we will publish the bot, same bot which we are going to develop today. We will publish the similar bot and we'll see that how can we surface the same bot to web chat, Teams, or Alexa. So let's get started. So bots are the new apps. This has been said by the person who has transformed the industry. And when it is coming from people like Satya, so it's not just a hype or a buzzword, it's something reality. And this is an answer to some of the friends who think that bots are, no, this conversational AI is just, it needs a lot of, like, it needs 10 years, 20 years. Yes, every industry needs improvement and some basic rollover, but I think uh, this conversational industry or conversational AI stack has become mature enough to solve many problems, and we'll see what problems are they solving. So why are we discussing these? If you notice all of these icons, you can easily relate to the applications people are using in their day-to-day life, from Slack to Teams to Alexa to Facebook Messenger or just a web chat. So people like to have a conversation in a natural way. And this is the reason that the if we count the number of applications which have been downloaded, which has the most number of downloads or which has the largest user bases, all of those applications are conversational apps. And then the companies or the organizations who want to interact with their customers, they are instead of implementing or inventing their own wheel, they are just coming up to these applications and deploying their solutions to in the shape of bots. So you can easily relate to the applications, right? So Microsoft Bot Framework, which is the underlying core of all the conversational AI, is capable enough for building the bots for all of these channels without writing a single line, or like without having to maintain differently. So you don't have to um, write a separate code for Slack, and you don't have to write a separate code for Teams. Yes, there are specific capabilities of platform that can be handled, but the same code base can run across all of these channels. Now, since the bot framework SDK or bot framework overall is an open source framework. And because of this, with the love of community, I'm proud to be a part of that community project, that we have seen a lot of custom adopters, and those custom adopters are Google Assistant, WeChat, Ring Central, Zoom, Twitter, WhatsApp, and uh, you have the capability now. You can surface your bots to all of these channels with just minimal code. Like, you just have to embed the custom adapter, and then with a little bit of configuration you can surface your same bot to all of these channels as well. So it's not just that you are surfacing your bot to the out of the box channels, but you are also able to publish the bot to Google Assistant, let's say, which is not an out of the box supported channel. So this is really cool, and it is done purely keeping open source. So if you want to have a look at how it is being developed, github.com/bot builder community, you can have a look at that, and you will see that it is quite open. And if you want to be a part of that as a developer, please feel free to join us. We have a bunch of stuff. Then we have got a couple of statistics. As I said earlier, that bots and agents are the top third digital trend for 2020 by Gartner. So you can imagine the importance of this. Second, then I was just looking at the trends of how many people are looking for chatbots across the world. And I figured out that people from New Zealand and Australia are looking for more than anybody else for chatbots. So yeah, I just wanted to share this statistics with you. Then bots are truly the assets for the digital transformation, and these are a couple of use cases which I have mentioned as a part of uh, these are the part of industry right now. So I saw myself a couple of them, and I've experienced myself. In fact, there are organizations, some government organizations in Australia who have implemented their conversational AI solutions, and they are working fantastic. So this topic can be discussed in this way that do we really need it or not? So that's why I have included the design principles, and we'll look into that. So the first and foremost, what are the success factors? What are the factors that make your bots successful? It is 100% necessary for us to know why we are building that. So the first one is it must be used by people. It should not be a part of your ideal strategy where it is just lying on your Facebook page or on your Teams or Slack or whatever the channel your customers are interacting upon. And it should be used by people. So that's why if you are investing in something, so you should be mindful of your investment, and you should invest your time accordingly to this solution. And that is how it is going to become successful. It should have the capability to compete for users' time against your uh, mobile apps and websites. So you should not just uh, embed everything to this bots which are there on your website or your apps. Let me give you an example for that. So your website has got, let's say, 30 pages or six categories, 30 pages of products and all that stuff. You may not use your bots for that. You may just use your bots for the FAQ purpose, for quick interaction of users and quick answer question and answers. Imagine this, that if you are a retail store and if you want to list down your timings, so you have listed down your timings and on your FAQ page in question number 18, let's say. So if I am a user and I have to scroll down, I will take some time to find it out. However, if I've got a bot as a solution, I will just write as, hey, what are your store timings? And the bot can say my timings are from this to this. So it is a very cool alternative, and that's why we have to keep our scenario use cases quite wisely when we are choosing these kind of solutions. So we should be prioritizing the right factors, as in what use case should we embed into our bots. Now, there is something which is known as the influencing factor for the bots. It means that these are the factors that influence the bot success. In my opinion, these are not the factors. So, how AI driven your bot is does not define the success. Does it support natural language processing? It also does not define the success. Does it support voice or answer your queries or queries on your behalf? No, it does not define the success. The success is depending upon, or the influencing factors which are depending upon success. It is these that does your bot solve the problem in an efficient way? Is it discoverable, or is it available on all the platforms which user are using normally? So if you think that your bot is super AI driven, but it does not solve your user problem, it means it has a problem with the strategy. It is not, like, AI is not a success factor. So it is an indicator, or it is indirect the supporting the success, but it's our design strategy, how we are going to design to make it a successful bot. Then we have a welcome message. So welcome message is the first impression, and the first impression is the key to for the retention for your customers. So imagine this: if you find out, if you come across this message by a bot, how will you respond? You may not respond to that bot, and you may, as a bot owner, you may end up losing these customers if you are building such experiences. And the reason for this is that it is not descriptive, right? If I'm interacting with a bot and if I'm getting these kind of messages, I may ignore it because I don't know why I'm getting these kind of messages. However, if you think that if you encounter this message, you will have an idea that this is about the airline, and if you give some menus, some hints to that user or your customer, it will help you drive your conversation in an efficient way as well. In addition to this, so UX should be your priority. So if you are designing an app or a website or a bot, your user experience matters. And the reason for this is in usual and traditional user experiences, forms are the input tools. However, when it comes to bots, the messages uh, are your indicator or are your catalyst for to keep your experience active. So messages matter. So if you are providing a correct message at the correct time, then you will have a better retention for customers. Next, moving on to the navigation pattern. So, it, navigate. There are broadly speaking, there are two types of navigation pattern. Number one is the non-linear or free form, where you allow users to write down anything you want, and your bot should be able to cater for that, and it should be smart enough to to handle all of these utterances. The second one is sequential or guided, where you just provide some information as a hint to the customer so that customer knows that what is expecting, and you as a developer will also be in a relief situation that you don't have to cater for all of the exceptional scenarios. In addition to this, you also should be able to handle interruptions. So interruptions are natural, and in our natural conversations, we often get interrupted by any factor. So there is no right or wrong answer to that questions. So that's why I've listed three questions that will help you deliver, or that will help you design your bot strategy. As, do you want to answer the user first, forget about whatever has discussed, or you want to retrieve that information again and join from that exact more place where you have left your conversation, or you just want to discard the previous conversation. So it all depends upon you. Now, we have talked about this strategy. What are the controls? Like in mobile app, we have got carousel control, image control, camera control. We have got all the UI elements over there. What do we have in bots? Can we have images like this, which you are seeing right now, or can we have something more interactive? So my answer to this is that bot framework is extensible, and the UI part is can be enhanced or enriched by yourself as well. But it is supporting a lot of rich media already, and it supports adaptive cards. So if you are not aware of adaptive cards, we will jump into that later on when we will be publishing our bot. But uh, adaptive cards are there. So all of these, the cards which you see down on your slide, you can see that these are all adaptive cards except for the right bottom. So you can have a very rich UI implemented on your bot. Then we have got text or natural language understanding services. You can use any service. Out of the box, we use Microsoft Language Understanding Intelligence Service, which is a part of Azure Cognitive Service. But you can use any other API as well if you want. In addition to this, we have got voice support as well, very smart voice support now. So you can even have a custom or neural voice, but we won't be getting into that, of course, right now. But If you've got any questions around that, please feel free to ask, and I'll be happy to answer. So moving on, we now the design part is done. We have understood that okay, this is how we have to develop. Now, how or what options do we have? So this is the whole spectrum of Microsoft conversational AI. So from software as a service solutions to the open source extensible frameworks, you have got bunch of stuff. So if you are an enterprise and you want to build your own virtual assistant, which is your like your own branded virtual assistant, then the virtual assistant solution accelerator should be your best solution. If you are using a power platform and you want to leverage the power of strength of power platform, then power virtual agent should be your best bet. And just today they have announced, the Microsoft has announced the very deep integration between Bot Framework Composer and the Power Virtual Agent. So they are becoming more stronger day by day, and you can create bots with that as well. So we'll touch base the composer part. That's why I'm not going to get into detail right now. If you want to embed some AI capabilities to your bot, such as object detection or facial detection or OCR or which like other stuff, sentiment analysis, and all that stuff, you can use just pre-trained AI models or custom AI models by cognitive services into your bots, and that is going to definitely enhance your experience. As your bot service, it takes all the pains from you, and it gives you all the gains of channels, the channels which are spread across your customers' reach. So whether it is Alexa, it's a web chat, Teams, Facebook Messenger, and all that, which people are interacting with these days. All of them are there. So Azure Bot Service, it's a managed service. You don't have to worry about it. So you can surface your bot across all of these channels. If you are a developer from Node background, Python, Go, Java, or .NET, then you can always build your bots using Bot Framework SDK. However, if you are not a developer and if you want to build bots, similar complex stuff, or sophisticated bots, which people are building with code, you can also use Bot Framework Composer, which we will be seeing in detail today. So this was all about what Microsoft AI conversational AI stack has to offer. Now there are three ways to create bots as of now, and we can start with the pro code. So the pro code is the way where you develop the bots using code. You have to be a developer. You need to have the developer expertise. You need to have the information about the bot framework SDK and the concepts and how does it work. There are templates available for Visual Studio for virtual assistants and simple empty bots for all of these languages, but you need to have an understanding for that. And since it's a code, so the possibilities are endless. You can do whatever you want with that code. You can implement custom adapters, as I have told earlier, that you can even surface your bot to Google Assistant, which is not managed or an out-of-the-box channel for bot framework. Then we have got the low-code capability. So bot framework composer, this visual authoring canvas is kind of a drag and drop tool for building conversational experiences. It's a ready-to-use bot runtime. It means that it comes as a package of a desktop application. It's an Electron app, and it works in a very efficient way. So super fast, no issues of lagging or something, and you can create same sophisticated experience as you would do with the code. So we'll see that in the demo. Uh, then we have got no code capability. So virtual power virtual agents, as I discussed earlier. So this was created with the objective of empowering the people who are closer to the customers, who are near to the customers, who are subject matter experts, who are people who want to who understand customers most. And You can create bots using without a single line of code, using just GUI interface. Uh, if you want to extend the capability, they already have a rich set of features. However, if you want to have more complex capabilities to this uh, bot virtual agents, then you can integrate with the bot framework composer and bot framework skills. So they have just released today the deeper integration with bot framework composer. I've written a blog post just today. You can have a look at that if you are interested, but let's have a look at the language capabilities first. So language capabilities, what Microsoft has to offer when it comes to language capabilities. So Q&A Maker is a service, is an Azure service, Azure Cognitive Service. Um, and this service, what it does, it takes the URL or question and answer pair or URL of your FAQ page, and it converts it into a conversational layer. So what it does, it takes that question and answer, creates a database inside that, and so if you are going to write a question or the relevant question similar to that question, you will get an answer against that. So in addition to this, you can choose a persona for that as well. Like you can embed some personality to your Q&A maker, and we'll see that we have built that. So we'll see that how does it work. But I have included I think a professional personality, and there are many personalities: witty personality, friendly personality, professional personality. So we'll see that where it is defined, but you can also have a persona of your brand. Then it supports active learning. It means that it is keep on learning whenever it is talking to the customer. So you can retrain it. You can identify what are the shortcomings, and where it is performing well. It also has a multi-turn experience now. So it means that it keeps the context, and if you write something, then bot responds with something. Then you can, if you write the second question, so the bot knows what it had discussed with you earlier. So this is a good stuff. Rich content support is a very recent uh, addition to Q&A Maker. So they have now you can embed images and other rich content to your answers. It supports 50 languages, more than 50 languages. It has also come now. It has also been released as a part of managed service, and secondly, they have got the capability of machine readable comprehension. So what MRC does, it is a new feature. I think it's in public preview, so I've not listed it over here. It was just released, like I think last week. If you have got a big, huge kind of paragraph, and your answer lies within 2 lines of that paragraph. So if your question is related to that 2 lines of that paragraph, it will also only pick up those 2 lines and give it to you. So it won't give you the whole paragraph. So it is really good. Then language understandings intelligent service. So what it does, it gets the intents and entities out of the utterance, out of the sentence which is provided. So intents, you can consider intents uh, as words. So what is the intention of the customer or the user? And entities as of noun. So let's say if I say I want to book a flight to Singapore. So uh, booking a flight is an intention, and Singapore is my entity. So this is how it works, and there are a lot of pre-built entities which you don't have to define, like currency, like American cities, because it is not good enough for Australia. I think same goes for Singapore. It's good for the world cities, but it's not good for small cities. But I think it is good enough for US cities. Then we have got other pre-built entities as well, country, geographical, and other stuff. So time, date, money, and yeah, these sort of entities. Then there we have got some support for good tooling around Lewis, so you can accelerate your development cycle with that. We'll discuss that as well in our demo. More than 20 languages of Lewis are now supported, so it is good. You don't have to use new or extra text analytics service when you have to get the sentiment analysis. So Lewis does this out of the box, and this is really cool. You save your good amount of money from text analytics service. Now, just imagine this use case that a Q&A maker is an information based service, and Lewis is task-based service. So it's a task-oriented service, and Q&A Maker is information-based service. Why? Because Q&A Maker is just giving you an answer of that question, and Lewis is giving you the intents or the entities. It is giving you that metadata of your utterance. So there are scenarios, and this is very common, that if I have a food bot, let's say, and I want, or I have a restaurant bot where I want to keep both of these, I want to have both of these functionalities, because there are customers who will just ask simple query and my Q&A maker should just respond that. And there are some customers who are just going to come and book their orders or place their orders or book some tables. So how do we know that bot should they, how bot will know that where to send this query, where to send this utterance? So to solve this problem, Microsoft has come up with the unified language model approach, and dispatch tool does that magic for you. So you just have to train that, and it's a CLI based tool. So what it does, it just takes Q&A Maker and Lewis, and it creates another Lewis app on top of that. So as you can see from the image, what it does, it gets the it takes the input, and it checks whether it is this utterance is more relevant to the Lewis application or Q&A Maker. If it is relevant to the Q&A Maker, it sends over there, and if it is relevant to the Lewis, then it takes, then it gives to the Lewis. So now there is something new which is known as orchestrator. It is coming as a part of new bot framework release in December. So I think that will be private preview or public preview in December. So if you want to utilize that model, you can do that. So I think that the need of dispatch tool will not be there, because orchestrator will take over. So it's an enhanced version of dispatch tool, you can say. Then we have got language generation. So this is the third last slide, I think. Then we'll jump into the demo. So if you are getting bored, don't get bored. I promise we have got many good stuff. So what it does, if you see this language generation, I have provided two utterances on top. I'm sorry about this small image, but it has got two sentences. And what it does, it creates a multiple variations of a response just to give a natural feel to the customer. Because if you are getting similar stuff like, hi, how may I help you? Hi, how may I help you? You may get bored as a customer, and you will not feel as like the bot. If it is not giving you a natural feel, there is a high chance that you may not talk to that bot again. So it separates business logic from presentation. So LG is not just that it gives you a multiple variations. It is more than that. And for detailed documentation, you can always head over to Microsoft Docs website. It's a very good concept. It's a new concept in conversational AI, especially around Composer. So you can have a read on that, and it is super good. And we'll discuss that as well. Rich response. So yes, adaptive cards. It supports adaptive cards as well. And if for those who are not aware what are adaptive cards, we'll see that as well in detail. Language understanding, so it is the core for the bot framework composer, and you can define the whole language, natural language understanding model inside your bot framework composer. And as you see on the right side of the image, this image is showing you the intent for the track flight, and I've defined some entities and my utterances in the LG format. So you don't have to go to a lowest portal to build your language understanding intelligence service application. It does support, everything is supported under the bot framework composer with the LG format. So it's really good, and it auto trains the language model, so we don't have to train, go and train again and publish it again. So now all is sorted. Now we are going to have a demo on bot framework composer. Do we have any questions? If we don't have any questions, then no worries. We'll look into that. We'll look into that part. Maybe. So I will quickly open up my Q&A maker as well. We'll get into that part very soon, but I want to show you something. So this is the bot framework composer website. Sorry, docs website. And if you want to start yourself with bot framework composer, this is the best source. However, I've already installed this. This is a bot framework client version 1.2.1. This version has been released, I think, 6 hours ago. So I'm brave enough to get this, and I'm showing you over here. But yes, this is the bot framework composer application. Bot framework composer is an open source tool, as I said. So if I go to my this website, I think we can see this. So this is, as you can see over here. So this is an open source tool, and they are giving you a way to get this whole repo and run it as a hosted version, or you can download the Windows client as a desktop client and work with that. So I personally prefer this, and I'll be showing you how easy it is because it's just a desktop app and you can play with that. So what it takes to create a bot. When you will install for the first time, so you will be taken a tour, taken for a tour of all of these um, options, menus. What does each of them mean? But since I've already played with that, so I won't get into the detail. I'll show you what I think is good for you, and definitely you have the privilege to go and figure out yourself as well. So we'll create a bot from the scratch, and I will say AIML community bot, and my AIML community. Okay, so this is my bot. Okay, so this is when you create a bot, you see this, and without doing anything, I'm just going to click on start bot. So it will take some time, like for the first time, it will take, I think, 15 seconds. If any one of you thinks that I'm going super slow or I'm going super fast, you can uh, ask me to go fast or slow. So please feel free to do that, because I wanted to keep it very slow in just so that you get what I'm telling you. And if you want me to get fast, I can go super fast, no issues. So now our bot has been compiled, and it has been built. We have not done anything. We have just come and just started our bot. I'll click on test in emulator now. So you need to have bot framework emulator installed. I've already installed bot framework emulator, so that's why I will just open it up. And As I open it up, it gives me a message, welcome to the empty bot sample. So where it is coming from. So if you go to reading, you will see a little bit of stuff over here, right? Some loop and some if else condition. The message which we are getting is from here. So if you just hover your mouse over on it, and you will see welcome to the empty bot sample. So what is this? So this is a template, and as I discussed that language generation, it what it does, it gives you the variations of utterance. So where are these templates stored? If you come to this, go to bot responses, then you will see the message which is over here. So rather than just having a one message, I will just edit it and I will write. Okay, and then after writing this, I can just restart my bot again, or go over here, see what is going on, hide code, and it will become like this. So whatever I want, I can play with that. I'll go back to design, and we'll see when it gets loaded. So I won't be reloading it again and again just to save our time, but since it is for the first time, I'm just doing that. So once our bot is compiled, we don't have to click test in emulator again, because if we do that, it will launch another emulator, which I want to avoid. So as you can see now, it has given me this message, and if I refresh, it will giving me it has given me a different message, because it depends upon the random function, and it works with the randomly. It works randomly, so it picks up any utterance it wants. Now this is very simple, right? Very basic, very childish stuff. So let's add some capability to this. And if you come across over here, you will see there are language understanding recognizer types. So what is this? So you can have different kind of recognizers implemented, but one will work at one time. So we have got default recognizer, which is the Lewis service. In terms of bot framework composer, Lewis, we'll see what Lewis is. Then we have got regular expression recognizer. Then we have got custom recognizer. Custom recognizer is something which you can build yourself to recognize the utterance which is coming to your bot framework composer. So if anyone is writing, hi, how are you doing? If you have defined any custom recognizer, so you should be able to write that logic, that how do you want to define, how do you want to parse that, and what is going to happen with that. So we will start with the basic stuff. We will use some regular expression recognizer, and what I will do, I will just define a new trigger. So if my trigger, which is a regex, if it contains a word order, let's say, then do something. And do what? Just start a new dialogue with the customer or with the user. So as you can see that I'm just, with the click of a mouse, I'm just creating my new dialogue. So my dialogue is order dialogue. So this is my order dialog. Now, when I've created an order dialog, a begin dialog trigger is automatically created, right? So I will come over here and I will click on this plus button, and on the send response, I will say, this is an order dialog. So I will restart it again, and what it means that if someone writes, I want to place an order, it should come over here and it should say, this is an order dialog. So let's do this. Then we will move to some a little advanced part of that. In addition to this, let me open up this. Visual Studio, so that I will have to show you something. So it is loading. Okay. So yes, it has loaded. So now what I'm doing, I will just refresh it again because sometimes it takes a little while to update. Let me see this. Okay, see, so now it has come. So I want to book and oh, I want to place an order. Oops. So since I did not place it in a very right way, so that's why I did not detect. So now I've just written I want to place an order, and my regex has caught up that this is an order intent or an order trigger. So it has come to this part. Now this is also very basic stuff, right? And what I want to do instead of this, I want to ask a question that what do you want, right? So I'll just do a little more conversational stuff. What would you like to have today? Okay. And over here, I will just define my food item, right? And over here, I will just say your order for. So this is the way, if I, as you can see that I'm, so as you see this syntax, what I'm doing is this user, this is a property bag. So there are four kind of property objects, memory objects. One is user, dialogue, conversation, and turn. So user is more about user specific, conversation is about conversation specific, and dialogue is all about the dialogue is specific, and turn is one turn. So one turn is I've sent a message, bot has sent me a response. This is one turn. So since it is user specific stuff, so I've just kept it in the user specific memory. I've created a question, it has given me an answer, and I'm just from that memory, I'm just saying that your food order or your order is booked. Now, instead of this as well, I don't want, honestly, I don't want this. Like, I don't want someone to write a word order. I want something more natural towards them. So, what should be something natural? So, instead of this, I'll remove this trigger and I will go back to my default recognizer. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a a more natural way. Like if I write, I'm hungry, I'm craving for food. So I should be taken to the similar dialogue, and then I should have a conversation. So we will add some natural language capabilities, you can say. So now we'll add another trigger. And in this trigger, since it is a Lewis trigger, because my default recognizer is changed, so I will just name it as book order. And they have given you an example that uh, how you can write your trigger phrases. So they have also given you an example. But since I'm aware of that, so what I will do, I've written some of the utterances. So I'll just paste them over here and I'll tell you. So in each line I'm writing, can I order food from there? I want to place an order, and different utterances of the similar intent. Now I'm going to submit it. Once I submit it, I will have to connect the same intent with the dialog. So I will do the same stuff. I have now plugged my intent with this dialog, and my dialog is having this conversation. So now it should work very well. However, since it's a Lewis application, so you need to provide the Lewis key. Now it will ask you provide the authoring key. You can provision this by going to Azure, provision the Lewis service, and then you will get the authoring key. So I've already got the authoring key. I will just click on OK, and then it is going to publish it. So what it is doing inside that, if you see over here, these are my conversational apps on the Lewis portal, right? So I'm refreshing it purposefully because you see that when our application gets published, which is being published from here. So you will see that the application where the bot which we have created will have a name over here with the Lewis application. So on the top. So now we have just created this application and this is over here, right? So you can create your Lewis application right from bot framework emulator. Now, coming back to this part, and I'll just refresh it. So now I will say I am hungry. If I write I'm hungry, it has understood that this is an order dialog. And you can also check the trace over here, the bot trace and the Lewis trace as well. So this is the Lewis trace. And what it does, you can see that it has, when I have provided I'm hungry text, it had a score of zero point 0.9, which is 90%, 97%. And top scoring intent is book order because we only have book order. So I can go beyond and I can put some complex stuff, tracking dialogue and all that. But for the interest of time and I'm I want to be not as slow as I'm right now. So for with the interest of time, what I'm doing is I have created a similar experience, similar food bot uh, with a little bit of more addition. So this is my greeting, right? This is the same out of the box greeting. Book order, same book order, same utterances, everything is same. Then we have got some track order as well, right? So this is the track order utterances, and I've got none intent. So if let's say if it is not book order or if it is not track order, then which order is that? So it is none intent. So what I'm doing when it is a book order, it is going to the book order dialog, right? And in book order dialog, I'm having the same, I'm setting some entities over here, as you can see, that if the entity is coming as food item, then I'm setting it up. I've branched it out. Like if it's the food choice is there, if the entity is there, then do this, do that. So some stuff. So before we get into this more into granular level, let's start this bot. So I'm now starting this bot, and meanwhile I'll just explain you. So what I'm doing it over here, that I'm setting a property as I discussed earlier, that there are four kind of memory bags. I'm using the user one. Memory objects, I'm using the user one. And this to value to upper. So this is an adaptive expression, and this is used by bot framework composer. You can, so my add food item is my entity which is coming from my lowest, and if it is detecting any entity, it is changing it to the upper case. So this is something very handy, and this is something very useful when it comes to string formatting. So uh, now moving on, then we have got a couple of other stuff we'll see, but let's run this bot and understand that what bot has to say. Hello, Ankit. I hope you are having a good time as well. We have just started, don't worry. So yeah, so hi, this is the same experience as I have discussed earlier. Um, you can see the bot responses. So if I go into the bot responses and my welcome user, this is the bot responses, right? And it is asking that I'm a young bot. How may I help you? And I will say, okay, I want to place an order. So it will say, okay, what would you like to have today? Let's say, and I will say, I would like to have chicken. Let's say. So when I said chicken, it says that your chicken is noted. Your reference number is 195. So how does it get created? So my reference number is the rand function, a random function, and it is going to choose a random function from 1 to 1000 any number. So it has given me this message that your chicken is noted. Your reference number is 195. My chicken is noted as this food choice because I asked a question, what would you like to have today? Then my order number was here. So I've got two properties, food choice and reference number. Now I will ask, I want to track my order. So what it is going to say, since it already had in the memory, so it is saying that your order 195 is on its way, right? If I ask a random question to this bot, and I will say, hey, because it is a part of non-intent, it said, I did not get it. How do I know it is a part of non-intent? We can click on trace over here and we can see that it is a non-intent, right? So that's why in non-intent, I have defined a message, sorry, I did not get it. Now, this is all cool, but honestly, this is very simple. And it is too simple to attract any customer. So, how do we improve it? Now, in order to improve it, we have got a couple of things, and we have to do a couple of things. We have to make it a little more interactive, little more rich in terms of our messaging and interaction. I've just sent that, okay, my order is on its way. I don't care. I need to have an integration with the service. So can I have an integration with the service? So the answer is yes, you can have the integration with the service. I'll talk about it. I'm just starting it and we'll talk about this in a while, in a bit. So let me show you some adaptive cards first and then we'll come back to this. So in fact, I'll show you adaptive card in a while. So I'm running an Azure simulator, and why I'm doing this because I have written a code to track my food. So it's just a sample Azure function. Sample as in it's just returning some hard-coded values, but it was just to give you an idea that without writing a single line of code, you can connect your bot framework composer bot with the Azure Functions as well. And let's have a look at that. So as a part of our improvement, we will be doing a couple of things. So let's begin with the begin book dialog. And over here, instead of asking this customer, sure, what would you like to have today? I would like to present something intuitive, something interactive, something rich, rather than just asking customer what would you like to have. So I have defined a template as known as adaptive card, and where it is defined over here, I will just take you in a bit over there, and then on my uh, user input, instead of getting a text, I'll get the value of that adaptive card which I have shown over here. So adaptive card I have defined in my book dialog. So this is my adaptive card. You can see that this is whole J. Uh, Let me just edit it. So you can see that whole big chunk of JSON. We'll see that this is very cool, and I can send adaptive card as a card experience to this whole board. So now we have improved this bit. Coming back to the tracking dialog. So as I said that I was just running this function. So let it get started. Meanwhile, it gets started. We will have a look at the um, other stuff. So instead of this, we'll go over none. And I don't want this to, I want, when the none is detected, I don't want my bot to say, "Oh, sorry, I did not get it." I want something. I want to answer something. So what's that? So I can connect this none intent with my Q&A maker service. And Q&A maker service connection is so simple that I'll come over here. I'll click on, I will come over here and access external resources. And over here, I'll select connect to Q&A maker resources. So when I will say Q&A maker, connect to Q&A maker, it says settings.qnamaker.hostname because it is everything is defined under my settings. So I have already defined this under my settings, but you can see that this is the information of my Q&A maker service. So if the none intent is detected, it will show us Q&A maker, Q&A maker response. Now, since our function is running now, okay, if anyone is interested in seeing the code of function, I can happily show that, but let me show you. So this is one of the demos I presented earlier. So yes, this is my food tracker function, simple function, right? So it is not doing anything very magical stuff or something, but this is just to show you that how you can connect to the functions. Now we'll come to the tracking dialog, and we'll see that how we can, instead of just giving a message that, oh, your order is on its way, I will delete this bit, okay? And then what I will do that as soon as the order is, I get the reference number, or if my reference number is there in the memory, I will connect it with my function. So in order to connect a function, you will just go to external resources, send an HTTP request. In that request, I click on get. Then as you see from here, this is my URL, right? And with that URL, I have to pass some query string like my reference number. So this is my reference number from the memory I'm providing. Then I'm going to store my response into dialog, and my response type is JSON. So once it is there, then I will put a condition. And in that condition, what I'm going to do is I'm going to write a check that the response is either true or false, first of all. So no, it's neither of that. And I will just write dialog.response.status code because it will be coming as a status code. If it is 200, then I'm going to set up a property. So the similar property, as you see that the similar property customer.order, user.order. So this property will be stored, and what it is going, like what value it is going to get it from, it is going to get from dialog.response.content. So once it is there, right, then I'm going to send a message to the customer as a success message that your order is on its way and this is how and all that. So now we have done a couple of changes to our bot. What we have done, we have made the first change in our booking dialog, which is about uh, adaptive cards, and we'll see that what adaptive cards are. But this is just to give you an example that how adaptive cards, what we have done. Secondly, we have changed in none intent. In none intent, we have connected it with our Q&A maker service. Third, we have changed our tracker flight tracking dialog, and we added some functionality with that. So we can see that we have you can connect to these external services as well. There are other options to connect. You can see over here, there are other options as well. Connect to a skill, emit a custom event. I know most of them. I have played with most of them, but we won't get into that because, like, say, connecting to a skill is a whole different topic and it requires a different deep understanding of the concept of bot framework. So, but a skill is just another bot which you can connect without writing a code again. So it's super simple and it's very good. Now we have done everything pretty much whatever we wanted, and now I'll restart our bot and we'll see how it is going to behave. Meanwhile, when it is getting published, I'll go over here, I'll click on my Q&A maker. I hope it gets signed in automatically. If it does not, then no worries, I'll sign it for you. So it is getting published. I'm just showing you. The Lewis application is the same Lewis application as you see over here. So it has got three intents. This is the web-based portal for that. You show the examples. You see the examples, the utterances. You can go inside each of them. You can define. It's very easy and simple. And as you see that I've already defined some of the intents entities as well. So it is labeled. So it's good to play with, and it does not require any heavy kind of knowledge. This is our Q&A maker. Meanwhile, it is getting done. We'll come back over here and then we'll go over there when we'll be publishing our bot to Azure because it will take some time. Now I'm going to refresh it. I've refreshed it. I will say similar utterance. I want to place an order. So now what it is going to give me is the adaptive card. So rather than it just asked me that, oh, what is your order? It has given me an adaptive card. And adaptive card works differently on different channels. As in it shows differently on different channels. So this is just one experience where I'm showing you. So if I say this time steak and I say okay, so it has given me the similar response as your steak is noted, your reference number is this. And if I say I want to track my order, what it is going to do, it is going to call a function as we discussed earlier. And this from the function, it has shown us this image in a hero card way. So this is another card. Cards are the rich way to show some content. Adaptive cards, hero card. And you can also see the trace that it has gone to function and from the function it has written this. So this is another improvement to our bot. Now, if I write hello, let's say, so instead of going to say, no, sorry, I did not get it, it has started talking to me. And if I ask, how are you doing? So it will give me a message. Um, and as I said that we have implemented a personality to this. So uh, if I ask a random question, and if it does have an answer, it gives us an answer. So this is really interactive. This is really cool. Now we have done everything, pretty much everything with that. Uh, now I would like to publish this bot to Azure, and then we'll see that how you can surface your bot to the world, and like what will it take to publish your bot to Alexa, let's say, same bot. So uh, as I said that Alexa or any other service has their own protocols as well, and we'll see when we publish it, but you can have specialized responses to those channels as well. Now, in order to publish it, publishing is simple. We will publish it from Bot Framework Composer itself. So if I go to publish, this is my published profile, right? So it means that I have published this bot. If I have published this bot earlier, you will see the history over here. So if you are doing it for the first time, you can just click on add new published profile, and it will give you some boilerplate code. So this Power published to Power Virtual Agent is the new feature which has arrived today. I've written a detailed blog post on that. Will not be touching it because Power Virtual Agent is out of our talks scope. But yeah, if you come to publish bot to Azure, you will see all of these information here, and you just have to fill it up. So since I have already created this publish profile, I will just have to change my access token. So because I just generated my fresh access token, so this is my fresh access token. I've clicked on save, and now since it is selected, I will click on publish profile, and it will go and try to publish the bot. I already have a couple of things on my Azure that requires it to publish it. So what I've already got two things. My web app is already created. My channel registration on Azure is already there. So let's have a look at everything now. So first we will see what Q&A Maker is all about. How do you define that? Q&A Maker is simple, very simple, all no code stuff. Um, you come over here, you can create a knowledge base by going over here. By creating a knowledge base, you will be asked a couple of questions. Like I've got the couple of questions over here. You can also define the personality, as I said. So this is the personality. This is out of the box personality. You can ask any of these questions, and the bot will be able to answer it. So this is question and answer pair. You can have multiple questions against one answer, and a follow-up prompt is, it means that multi-turn conversation. So this is about the Q&A maker. Now, um, coming to the adaptive card. Adaptive card is the new way to deliver UI. So with, there is a way to learn about it, and if you go over here documentation, you will be learning about each bit. But my way of just getting started with adaptive card is not this. My way of starting it is to go to samples. And this is how I went with that. I went to the samples and I saw that, oh wow, this is new card. This is the calendar reminder, and this is the flight update. And you see that they have got some input controls, right? They have got some smart input controls such as calendar invite. So you can see that you can have different. And so I'm using this food order bot, and I've changed a little bit, but this is how I was using it. Now if I want to try it, if I want to copy this, I will just click on try it yourself, and then now you can see that this is the data editor, and this is this payload uh, sample code. So target version of bot framework composer is, I think, 1.2, because in 1.3 they have changed some different schemas. So they are improving on their day-to-day basis or month-by-month basis. So this this is how it looks like on web chat. So if you want to have a different look, you can see that how it is going to look like in Teams, how it is going to look like in Outlook, how it is going to look like in Windows notifications. So you can see that adaptive cards are supported across many products or many platforms within Microsoft ecosystem. So this is really cool. Now, since we have got discussed a couple of things earlier, so I'll just go to my Azure first, and I'll select my directory, the correct directory, and then I'll come back. Meanwhile, let's see whether we have got published it. So it is accepted for publishing, but it is still publishing. I know that it takes a little more time to publish, but it is publishing it in an actual way. So it is publishing an actual bot. It is going to be on, you can say, production. So it's not just testing anymore. When it comes to the stuff which we have created earlier, so as I said that you have two things, or you must have two things. You can create it from the scratch composer as well. To host your bot, you need to have the bot channel registration and an app service, which is a web app. So I already have a web app, which my code is going to get hosted upon. Then bot channel registration is that where you define your endpoints and all that. So if you come over here on settings, you can see that a messaging endpoint. I have defined this. This is my app ID. This is my instrumentation key of analytics. If I want to check analytics, this is how you define the channels. So all of these channels are over here, and we'll see. So I already defined 3 of my channels over here, right? And this is cool stuff because uh, all of them are running now, and we will see that how each of that works. So let's see whether bot has been so now it has been successfully published, and since it has been successfully published, I will shortly, very quickly go to my Azure portal so that we will check in web test. So testing in web chat. Now we are going to test in our web chat. So this is our web chat, and you can also embed this web chat as a part of an iframe, and you can use that iframe anywhere, literally anywhere, wherever your bot is, wherever your website is. So I will, instead of writing us, it has given us response because it has detected that we are the first one who is interacting with this. So if I say I am hungry, let's say, so it should detect the similar intent, and it should give us the same response as it was giving us on emulator. And same stuff goes, and if I say this, it will give me yes, okay, your chicken is not ready. If I say hello, and all that stuff, and all that stuff which we were talking about, it should give us that. So now the same thing is if you have got a teams, let's say, and you want to deploy your bot to teams. So how would you do that? So I will just show you a quick way of this, implementing the same bot to the team. So this is my app studio of team, right? And if I go to my manifest editor, you will see the applications. I can go and create my new app. If I go and create my new app, I'll be asked a couple of things, and I can surface it as a bot or something like that. The better way for that, if I just want to surface my bot, is importing an existing app. So if I import an existing app, I just need a zip file with my icon and very basic manifest, and that manifest can be fetched from. I will show you because it's super easy. So if you go to the channels, and if you go to the teams, so if you go to the channels, if you go to the teams, then on publishing it, you will see this message, right? And this message, and yes, this message, yes. So it will show you that how you can build the package. You can create your package, and this is the manifest schema where you can use. So all you have to do is provide your bot ID. That's it. To keep everything as similar. So I have done the same stuff, and I created my young bot. So instead of this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you that how what was my discussion with this. So if I write hi, so it will give me the same responses, and right, how are you doing? You can see that my okay. So this is how I want to play. I'm hungry, and this is an order live. So yeah. So this is all about my uh, Teams request. So now let's go to my um, Alexa stuff. So, oh my God, I think I have closed my Azure portal. So, Azure portal. No, I have not closed it. So yes, so this is an Azure portal, and we'll go to Alexa and we'll see how you can surface your bot to even Alexa, which is, this is another cool stuff. So you can surface your bot, as I said, to Alexa as well. And in order to surface your bot to Alexa, this is the instruction, step-by-step instructions. If you click on this, it will take you to the page, and then you have to see that what you need in order to get that. But since I already have the idea, so I will just bring my stuff over here. So this is my Alexa skills, and this is my skill ID, which I had to provide it to my bot, which I had to provide it over here, right? So this is my skill ID, which I had to provide over here. I've already done that. I had to copy this one, and I had to go inside this, since it is in dev. So it's not published, but anyway, I will have to go to endpoint, define this over here. Once it is defined, then I can go and test it. So you must know how to create some basic skill with Alexa. If you don't know how to create basic skill with Alexa, you won't be able to do this in first go. So first, little knowledge is required, but following that documentation will make it easier for you. So now again, if I write ask young bot, or ask, it should uh, talk to the exact bot, right? Now it is also giving us that this is an auto dialog, but it has not given us the adaptive card. And the reason for this is it does not give it does not give us the rendered version of adaptive card. Adaptive cards are not yet supported on this channel. So, but definitely you can implement some other ways to show the images, which we are not doing it over here right now. So that's all about my side. From the bot framework composer side, that's how you can create the bot and play around that. So this is, I think, uh, there's no question as well. Yeah. So that's it from my end. This is some of the resources if you want to learn about it. This is Dev Community Newsletter is by Microsoft. They have started the source Microsoft source letter, so it is community-driven letter. If you are writing some awesome post, Microsoft will definitely get it for their blog, for their newsletter. And a couple of things, if you want to follow my blog, follow it, learn bot framework composer. Any questions, anything around that, please let me know. I'll be happy to answer you.
Cool. I think that was very, very interesting things. I was not even aware of some of the things that you showed up. So that was pretty cool. Any questions from the audience?
Anyone, anything. I think there is, if nobody has any question, it means either they have understood very well or,
No, I think bot is something not everybody kind of uses it, right?
yeah,
A lot of them are so that one of the things that I've seen, especially with bot, is there are these two chasms, right? One is you keep on playing things, and then when you go to the corporate, none of what you played
yeah,
ended up kind of coming in there, and that's where a lot of the gaps in the learnings are. But I think knowing how to kind of what are some of the things that you can integrate, what are the features that are there, I think that becomes a very, very good starting point for a lot of folks.
yes, definitely, yes, yes, you're right. I agree.
So I think if there are none, then I think we can close the stream. Anyone, any questions?
No, I think.
I think there are none. All right. So it was nice having all of you here. Thanks for joining in. I will see you again on next Tuesday at 7 p.m. All right. See ya. Bye bye. Have a good evening.